tgtf hub.
Photography had always been my escape. There was something hauntingly beautiful about abandoned places, their quiet stories etched into peeling paint and rusted metal. I'd gotten good at finding them, seeking out the forgotten corners of the world and capturing their loneliness through my lens. Last night, scrolling through online maps, I'd stumbled upon something promising, an old factory tucked away at the edge of a forgotten town. The aerial view showed crumbled roofs and overgrown weeds. Perfect. But now, standing in front of it, I frowned. The factory wasn't what I expected. No decay, no ruin. It looked maintained, clean windows, no sign of abandonment. And yet, the doors were ajar, inviting. Curiosity won. Adjusting my camera strap, I stepped inside. The silence inside was thick, almost unnatural. My footsteps echoed off the high ceilings, every sound amplified in the cavernous space. It felt empty, abandoned in spirit, even if the pristine state of the machinery suggested otherwise. I glanced around, my camera ready, but every shot felt sterile. This wasn't what I had come for. "Do you have an appointment?" The voice startled me, soft yet firm. I spun around. She stood in the doorway I'd just entered, a young woman, striking in her simplicity. Black hair cascaded over her shoulders, framing an elegant face. She wore a sleek black dress, tailored to perfection, as if she belonged to a different era. Her gaze was steady, unreadable. No, I'm just here by chance," I stammered, feeling suddenly out of place. "I'm a photographer. I thought this place was abandoned." Her lips curved into a small, knowing smile. "I see potential in you." Her voice had an otherworldly quality, a lilt that felt both inviting and commanding. "Follow me." Every instinct screamed at me to leave, to turn back before I got in too deep. But the way she looked at me, like she knew something I didn't, was impossible to ignore. My heart raced as I hesitated. She tilted her head, waiting patiently, as if my choice was inevitable. With a nervous nod, I fell into step behind her. Her heels clicked softly against the floor as I followed, the sound sharp and rhythmic against the silence. I couldn't help but notice a sweet, almost intoxicating scent that seemed to linger in the air. Was it her perfume, or something else entirely? It wrapped around me, pulling me deeper into the strange ambiance of the factory. The further we walked, the more my head swam. My footsteps grew sluggish, the echoes of our movement muffled, as if the world itself was softening. The scent intensified, and a strange dizziness overtook me, my vision blurred. "Wait," I mumbled, but my words were lost in the haze. The ground seemed to tilt beneath me, and then nothing. I woke with a jolt, my heart pounding. Cold metal pressed against my arms and legs, holding me in place. My head spun as I tried to process my surroundings. I was in a chair, sleek, mechanical, the kind you'd expect in some high-tech lab, and those arms, gleaming robotic appendages, held me firmly in place. I pulled against them, but they didn't budge. Panic surged, and then I saw her. The woman from before stood behind a console, her black dress catching the dim light. She glanced up, her expression calm, almost pleased. "Good," she said, her voice steady as if this were all routine. "You're awake. We can begin the feminization procedure now." Her words hit like a lightning bolt. "The what?" I croaked, my throat dry, fear tightening in my chest. She didn't answer, her slender fingers moving with practiced ease as she pressed a button on the console. A low hum filled the room, and I felt the chair shift beneath me. Every nerve screamed in protest, but the sweet scent lingered, lulling some part of me into uneasy compliance. "What are you doing?" I demanded, my voice cracking, but she only smiled, a flicker of amusement crossing her face. "You'll see soon enough." The hum of the machinery deepened, and the robotic arms surrounding me sprang to life. I thrashed against the chair, trying desperately to free myself, but the cold, unyielding steel held me in place. My protests were swallowed by the sterile air of the room. "Stop this!" I shouted, panic rising in my throat. My voice sounded small, almost childish, against the mechanical symphony around me. But the arms paid no mind. They moved with clinical efficiency, retrieving something from a nearby compartment. I barely registered what it was until I felt the slippery texture of the fabric sliding over my skin. Pink, shiny, tight. The material clung to me as the arms forced my arms into puffed sleeves and zipped the back with merciless precision. It was a dress, a pink PVC monstrosity that shimmered under the harsh light. I struggled harder, my breaths coming fast and shallow, but the robotic arms weren't done. Another arm approached, this one holding a blonde wig, its soft curls bouncing mockingly. "No, no, no!" I protested, trying to twist my head away, but it was useless. The wig was placed on me with the same ruthless precision, its weight unfamiliar and humiliating. The woman's laughter rang out, sharp and cold, slicing through the haze of fear clouding my mind. She leaned against the console, her black dress a stark contrast to the garish pink I now wore. "Oh, you look adorable," she said, her voice dripping with mockery. Her dark eyes sparkled with amusement, and her lips curled into a cruel smirk. "I told you I saw potential. Didn't think you'd make such a pretty little doll, though." My chest burned with shame and disbelief. This couldn't be happening. This wasn't real. And yet, the cold steel against my skin and the weight of the synthetic curls on my head were impossible to deny. The woman stepped closer, tilting her head as if inspecting her handiwork. "Perfect," she purred, her voice like silk, smooth and merciless. The sweet scent lingered, stronger now, like a warm fog wrapping around my thoughts. My panic ebbed, replaced by an unsettling calm. Every part of me screamed that this wasn't right, that I needed to fight back, but the will to resist was slipping through my fingers like sand, the long blonde hair brushing my shoulders, the tight pink PVC dress clinging to me. They should have felt foreign, humiliating, and yet they didn't. A strange warmth seeped into me, making it harder to remember why I'd been so desperate to escape. The femininity enveloping me felt bizarrely natural, like slipping into something I'd forgotten I craved. I blinked, trying to shake the thought away, but the scent clouded my mind, softening the edges of my fear. The robotic arms weren't finished. They pivoted with smooth efficiency, one holding a brush, another a sleek tube of lipstick. My face became their canvas, and I could do nothing but watch in mute disbelief as they went to work. The first swipe of foundation was cool against my skin, followed by contouring that sculpted my features with unsettling precision. Dramatic eyelashes were affixed, making my eyes look larger, almost doll-like. A cat-eye flick of eyeliner sharpened their gaze, drawing me further into the reflection that was beginning to emerge. The glossy crimson lipstick felt strange against my lips, the faint taste sweet and lingering. A light dusting of blush followed, adding a rosy glow to my cheeks. My heart raced as I caught glimpses of myself in the polished metal surfaces around me. Each stroke of the brush, each careful application, was transforming me into someone else, someone impossibly feminine, unnervingly delicate. The woman's voice cut through the haze, laced with amusement and satisfaction. "Ah, now you're coming together beautifully," she said, watching the process unfold with an almost maternal pride. Her dark eyes sparkled as she stepped closer, tilting her head to examine my face. "See, doesn't that feel better already?" I couldn't answer. Words wouldn't come, not through the confusion, the shame, and the strange, growing acceptance creeping into my thoughts.